Well, I went through a difficult period in my life when everything came crashing down on me. It was one shitstorm after another. I felt completely uprooted and displaced, and life as I had known it felt alien to me. And boom, I fell into the abyss of an existential crisis. And I know that there are many others out there who have encountered this or are encountering it as we speak. In fact, ever since I released Blessing in a Crisis, I've had a few requests from people, clients wanting to discuss what they can't really understand, but based on what they saw in the poetry film, they feel that that's what they're going through, an existential crisis. I wholeheartedly believe that such a shattering experience can be a springboard for a more meaningful existence, and one that impels us to reach greater heights. There's a strong sense of realism and humility that you gain from being there. And I think it's our mind's way of saying, face your truth and dive in, break free from the old. It's time for renewal. I'm not really sure. It's hard to quantify. I think it went on off and on for 4 years, which is a long time. And I think it's because I wasn't honoring my path. And rather than pay attention to the signs that I was going off track and that I was being drawn into these dark places for a reason, I just ignored them and kept sinking further and further down, kind of like the financial crisis. It was brewing for a while, the signs were there, but we ignored them, and then boom, we had a huge shit show. Yeah, I think it does. Self-awareness is a double-edged sword. Once you embark on an inward journey of connecting to your higher self, you have to complete the cycle of facing your lower, darker self. And when you become aware of a misalignment within, you have to acknowledge it. You have to look those ugly parts of you in the face, in the eye. You can't brush them off and pretend they're not there. You have to be fully conscious of them, or they'll come after you until you do. The more you ignore it, the fiercer it gets. I think my ego was struggling to accept my failures, and I was desperately trying to hold on to everything that wasn't working out, including this idea I had about myself, even though circumstances were showing me otherwise. And the best way to hold on is to distract yourself even more. When life went from poking me gently, to nudging me, to elbowing me, to slapping me, to punching me in the face, I started paying attention and asking the right questions. Realizing that everything that had been falling apart wasn't in line with anything I wanted anyway. Everything that wasn't working out belonged to a smaller me, and it was time to step up my game and break free. Because I wasn't connecting with my truth. My truth isn't as nice as the person I believed I was. My truth is a lot more messed up than I wanted to admit, but it's my truth. I was more concerned with surviving and belonging than with connecting inwardly and self-realizing. And self-realizing, by the way, to me at least, isn't becoming a better me, a more likable, self-loving, healed me. No, it's becoming a more conscious, optimized me, with better creative output in my field of interest, even if that means falling prey to a few bad habits. But I need to get off on my own curiosities and ideas, and the more I do, the more self-realized I feel. Out of existential depression, I think that what I went through would have happened anyway. As part of my conscious evolution. I just don't think it needed to last that long. But what helped me exit, well, a few things. Inclusion and extraction, which was an ongoing process. So including more of what I wanted to do in my life and extracting whatever and whoever was not serving those wants and those goals. It happens in stages, you remove the first obvious ones and then as you go deeper, you kind of remove more and more. Exploring the darker, unexposed parts of me. I had nothing to lose, so I said I was going to do whatever I wanted, which included good stuff, but also maybe some destructive stuff. But I was conscious of what I was doing and I was paying attention to realizations about myself without feeling the need to fix anything. Discipline, isolation, nature, introspection, reading. I was alone a lot, reading books, stepping away from the scene, spending more time in solitude and in nature. Taking my inclusion and extraction philosophy up a notch. So writing more, removing more people and more distractions, less time on social media. And what else? Self-acceptance. That helps. Accepting how terribly flawed I am, my self-sabotaging habits, my demons, and for the sake of irony, accepting my lack of self-acceptance. And the more honest I was with myself about who I am, the more I was able to use more of me towards what I wanted because I had more access. You don't just accept a part of you, you accept the consequences that part of you comes with. Extraction, removing what and who didn't serve me. That was the hardest part. It was painful not because of the separation, but because of the wounds that separation opens, wounds of abandonment and rejection, and because of the backlash you receive when you step away and up, which invites more abandonment and rejection. And I think it's also because of the loneliness you must endure as part of the process of making that shift. But it's a different kind of loneliness because this time around it's a choice, which is what my next poetry film will be about, autonomy and the struggles it comes with.